Hi guys, welcome to another video. Again, my name is Limuel Honorides. I'm your Boholano book hound, and this is a second video in a string of videos that I am planning to make regarding reviews about the books that I have read, and well, I'll give you some recommendations about these books. I'll give you the backstory if it's possible, and I'll give you some ratings. Okay, so we'll rate them by stars. Okay, 5 stars if it's a really good book to read, and 1 star if it's a book that you would read when there is nothing else in your house, like there's completely no paper in your house, like it's just furniture and saucepans, right? So this, if I give it a 1 star, that means that's the kind of book that I was talking about. All right, so today the book that we are going to talk about is called The Dogs of War by Mr. Frederick Forsyth, which, as you may know from my first video, is my number one action thriller author, as you might say. The Dogs of War is a book about 5 mercenaries who were in Africa, and they have been in many conflicts in Africa. They have been hired by governments or rebel groups to fight for them. Okay, but for this book, The Dogs of War, it actually tells the story of a British company who discovered like a source of platinum in a country named Zangaro. Now, just sort of a backstory for this, guys. When you say Zangaro, the author actually has in his idea Equatorial Guinea. So, what is Equatorial Guinea? Equatorial Guinea is a country in Africa, which in the book is described by the author as a very small country. And he's right, by the way, because Equatorial Guinea is one of the smallest country in Africa. It's only 11,000 square miles. All right, so it's so small that if you look at it in a map, it's like a dot, or in a globe. I mean, if you look at it in the globe, it's like a dot. Okay, so this British company found a source of platinum in a mountain in a country called Zangaro, which, like I said, Frederick Forsyth had in mind was Equatorial Guinea. Now, they wanted to mine the platinum. However, the country is under a rule of, let's say, a semi-military government under a president that they don't like, which is not in favor of foreigners. So what they did was they actually hired mercenaries to create a revolt and oust the president. Okay, so the mercenaries that they hired were led by a man named Cat Shannon. Cat Shannon, or Carlos, I forgot his name, Carlos Andrew Thomas Shannon. That's why he has the name Cat. He was asked to lead a group of mercenaries to overthrow the current government of Zangaro and put someone else in the president's place. So that's the whole story of the book. However, the book is really exciting, guys, because it takes you to different places. I mean, that's what I do. I read books to actually go somewhere without leaving my seat. Okay, so I go somewhere without leaving my seat. I read books. Okay, now this book would take you through Europe, through Germany. It's gonna take you to places that you have never been. Okay, especially if you're a Filipino and you don't have a lot of money. So most likely the farthest place that you have been is Baguio. But anyway, so reading books are quite fun. Anyway, let's go back to the book. So it takes you places, and it actually details the efforts of these mercenaries on what they did to acquire guns, what they did to acquire transportation, logistics, right? And what they did to acquire identities and some tactics and intelligence, right? So it's quite fun if you are interested in military action type of stories. Now, this is a book that you won't be able to put down. If you start reading this book, you won't be able to put it down. If you are interested in action books, like you're not interested in cheesy love stories, but instead you're interested with action films or action stories, this book is highly recommended for you. Okay, so the book starts with, like I said, a conglomerate of British businessmen, or a British company who actually saw a source of platinum in a certain country. Okay, and the author wrote this because the author, Frederick Forsyth, he was also a journalist, he was a reporter, and he was there during the Nigerian Civil War, or what they call as the Biafran War. It was a bad war. It was like a genocidal war. It was fought between the government of Nigeria, headed by General Yakubu Gowon, and the secession state of Biafra, led by Lieutenant Colonel Odumegwu Ojukwu. Okay, so that was like a battle there in Nigeria, and Frederick Forsyth wrote this book. Mostly, the actions that we had there were based on the Biafran War. But anyway, so what happened? So Cat Shannon was able to pull it off. Okay, he got the guns, he got the transportation, he was able to hire men, and he attacked the country of Sangaro, and he was able to take Sangaro by force. Actually, imagine that, only 5 mercenaries with, let's say, around 20,000 Negroes or black or Africans at their backs, because they were able to hire men from other neighboring countries to fight for them. Now, at the end of the book, there's sort of a twist there, and I'm not gonna ruin the excitement for you. I'm not gonna ruin the suspense, so I'm not gonna tell you what happened. But there's a twist at the end of the book, and it would actually change your perception of what a mercenary is. Okay, now you say dogs of war. Why are they called dogs of war? Because they fight wars wherever there is war, and they fight if they're hired. If there's money involved, they actually fight for the side which gives them money. Kung asa ang kwarta, adto sila moaway, adto sila mulaban. But the thing is, at the end of this book, it will change your perception of them, because something happened that is above the concept of being hired. Okay, ana lang. So it's something happened that is above the concept of being hired. So if you ask me to rate this book, I would rate this book around 4.5, because it's really a good book. It doesn't have any moral lessons like, love your parents or be good to other people, but it does have moral lessons about loyalty, and it does have lessons about war. So for me, it's a 4.5 because it's very exciting. The book is very riveting if you read it. Now, you might get surprised because this is an old book. This was published in 1974. That was a long time ago, 1974. And everything that you read in the book, like what clothes they wear, there was no cell phones back then. It's all there. So you could actually read how people lived in 1974. So for those millennials who are watching this video and you're wondering, why is he talking about a book that was written a long time ago? Because guys, classic. This is one of the classics that you don't want to miss. Dogs of War. There are a lot of books these days with the same title, different authors. I haven't read them, but for me, this one is the best. Right? And I have read a lot of books. I have read a lot of books in my lifetime. I'm 40 years old, but I've read a lot of books. So, Dogs of War, one of my favorite. By the way, The term dogs of war, or the statement dogs of war, came from Shakespeare in his play Julius Caesar. The complete line says, "Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war." Right. So the book was very good to the fact, up to the fact that there was actually a movie that was made about the book, and this movie starred Christopher Walken, which is one of my favorite actors of all time. Christopher Walken opposite Tom Berenger. So you can see in your screen right now, that's it's really small right there. But yeah, that's a poster, and this was made somewhere around 1980s, right? So so the book, guys, is it's very, what do you call this, for the people during the 1970s to the 1980s. So a very good book that they actually made a movie out of it, right? So the movie, I saw the movie too. It was not really as good as the book, but hey, there's just limit, no, kung asa kutob ang imagination sa tao. But yeah, hindi nila masuluntanan. However, the book is really good. Like I said, it is very good. So 4.5 stars for the Dogs of War, and
Storybox Audio.
I hope you'd like it if you would be able to read it. Okay, so pangita lang, if you go to your public library, if they have a copy of this book, or the National Bookstore, if they still have a copy of this book. My copy is really old. The front cover is not there
Storybox
anymore.
Audio.
So that's it for now. So this video, to all my fans who does not exist, thank you for watching, and hopefully you learned something from this video, and hopefully
Storybox
read,
Audio.
because reading is very, very good for you. Right? So anyway, thank you for tuning in, and if you want to see more videos, or if you want to be updated on videos that I upload, for book reviews and stuff like that,
Storybox Audio.
I'm gonna review books, brand new books, or critically acclaimed books. I'll try to read them, and I'll give you a short review about it too. And I'm not a book expert, by the way. I just read books, so this review is like a layman talking
Storybox
to you,
Audio.
just a normal guy telling you what he thinks about the book. Alright? That's the difference. I'm not gonna tell you that, oh, this book has a lot of periods, a lot of phrases. I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm not an English major, but
Storybox
like I said,
Audio.
good book. Alright? So thank you, stay safe, and God bless. Bye now.